Accept This Moment podcast and the Learning God Ministries are proud to bring you the My God, Your God podcast as we dive deeper into our relationship with this divine power and how it directly affects your life, and where we ask the question, whatever you do, are you doing it with God? Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of My God, Your God.
No, it's my God.
I thought it was my God.
No, it's your God, but wait a minute. I said it's my God. Then it's your God too.
Exactly. It's our God. Oh, we should put that in the title too.
Oh, our God, our God.
Our God,
what
our
a
God.
Great name for a podcast.
Exactly. Whatever we do it our God.
We do it our God.
I'm John Emilio along with Michael Camarado. Michael, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well, John. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm all right, you know. As the kids say, I'm chilling. That's what we used to say, actually.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Good. Very good. Tried frying a turkey for the first time this year. It went well. Then I burned the Poconos down. Very happy about that. Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, very, very well. So it was nice.
I have not done that, but why not?
Yeah, very nice.
The oil cost tripled the turkey price.
It might. It's fun. It was a funny, I got to tell you, it was definitely a fun experience. It was cool to try it. And it came out well, and you're done in like 25, 30 minutes. So you can't beat that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Done like that. Quick.
Yeah,
So it was nice.
Savings.
Yeah, I spent a few days up in the mountains, which was nice with the family.
Oh, it's always beautiful.
How about yours?
It was great. Fatty food fest as usual.
Of course.
And, it's Italian, so it's just loaded with food. And then the Thanksgiving meal comes out. So basically it's anti-turkey.
The Italians know how to do it right. Yes, we know how to do it right. Food, and more food.
Yep. That's what it was.
Yeah. But
so a lot of good responses from our last little foray into the podcast world.
Good.
People are enjoying it. I met with a couple of people live, like face to face, and said, your podcast has really changed the way I'm approaching my belief in God.
I love to hear that. Absolutely
so
love
do
to hear that.
I know, because, and I keep saying it's not about us.
No.
It's us delivering the message for the guy,
Exactly.
And I don't want to say the guy. He's an entity. He's God, but whatever. But I love to hear stuff like that. And it hits people at the right moment. Sometimes they'll hear a message and it'll be, wow, I heard that at the exact moment. I always say, the people that know God, think about where you are right now.
Yeah.
You're in your seat, you're in your car, wherever you're listening to this podcast. Smell the air, look around, hear some things, and realize that God brought you right here, right now.
Yeah, absolutely. God's timing, right?
Yeah. He can't bring you in the past, and he can't bring you in the future until you get there. So it's really now. Well, I mean now. No, wait. I mean now.
Now.
Yeah, now.
You're actually talking my language from my mindfulness days, man. Now. Yeah, absolutely. That's it. Life just happens now. Perfect. I love it. Yes.
And always live for now. And of course, you have a nice future to look forward to.
Of course.
And a past that you could have learned with, but always live now.
Absolutely.
And, it's a very strange thing now. Time is very strange, as I said. It's always a crazy thing.
Wow. I mean, I could talk I could talk for an hour probably just on that one topic. Yeah. But no, there's so much truth to that. Yeah, just living presently, right? And from a perspective of God, like we always said, God exists outside of time. So for us as humans, we have this concept in our heads of time, and we kind of live in this reality where things happen and our minds are able to go forwards and backwards, right? Where God, as you said, I think you said it probably, it might have been the second episode, or I don't know if it was the second or the first episode, where God has kind of this 360 view of everything at all times, and you could kind of go to any part of life at any time. He could see things however he wants, right? In whatever perspective he wants, and it's always happening in that moment, right? And that's how God kind of sees things, where we kind of we have a little bit of that ability where we could think backwards and forwards, but that's all we could do. We're very linear, right?
Yeah.
We're very linear. We're forwards, backwards. We don't get the ability to go up and over and kind of, peruse around. So,
And not to worry about that, because that's the way God made us.
Yes, exactly.
That's the way we're supposed to live in this plane of existence with our bodies.
Absolutely.
It's completely natural, and it's okay. People like, oh, I wish I could go back in time and do something different. No, don't worry. Don't worry.
No.
If you want to do something different, do it now.
Absolutely.
And then your future time will be different.
Absolutely.
So don't worry about past.
No,
you could learn from it, as I said, but God programmed it like this. This is the way it's got to be, and accept it, rejoice in it, love it, and that's all I got to say. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Take care.
Well, you said the key word there, to accept it, right? Acceptance and surrender is what, and we've said this in a couple of the other shows where that's the main point and the main idea of being a believer in God and having that relationship is being able to accept and surrender to whatever his will is, right? And, we as humans, we get stuck in our own heads and we start going backwards and forwards. And why did I do that? Or take somebody who sinned, right? We'll look in our lives as devout Christians and followers of God. As humans, we'll look at our life and we'll see the things that we've done wrong, right? We've all sinned, and we've all sinned horribly at times in our lives. And we'll look back, and if we allow ourselves, we could get stuck in that, which is what Satan would want, and that guilt and that reminiscing and that depressive, wow, what a bad person I was or I am because of those
things.
He
loves that.
Yeah, he loves that. Where God doesn't want that. God is more, accept what I want for you. Surrender to me. That doesn't matter anymore, because that transforms you, and now you become a different person. Right. But that transformation doesn't happen if you keep living, if you keep looking in the rearview mirror behind you. You're never going to progress forward with God. You're going to keep, I always say, you can't drive a car. You can't drive a car forward if you're always looking in your rearview mirror, right? You can't. So,
although if you live in Staten Island, people do that. I want to throw that out there right now.
Brooklyn too. I think if you live in
and Brooklyn, oh my goodness,
and Brooklyn,
I won't even drive there.
Yeah. You probably can do that. That's true.
So, ho ho ho. If you're not listening to this podcast,
I was about to say, where are you going with that, Mike?
In our December podcast, of course, it's the month of Christmas. It's a month of the winter solstice. It's a month of Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Monica. I forget what the whole term was.
Everybody's got a holiday.
But of course, right, it's winter. And that winter it's the symbol of we beat death. We beat death? Is that what it is? I think it is. I don't really know. But anyway, the light starts to shine again. After December 21st, the days start getting lighter. Lighter.
Shortest day of the year is December 21st. Yeah, winter.
Yeah. Even though there's daylight savings, I can't stand it. Anyway, we didn't alter time. We altered the way we measure time.
Yeah.
But we can, we think we have the power to wait a minute, I'm going to turn this clock back, and I just gained an hour. No, you didn't. You didn't gain anything. You didn't lose anything. You did nothing.
Exactly.
You just played with hands on a clock.
That's all
hands or digital, whatever. Anyway, that is what it is. We beat the darkness, and the light is coming, and that's why Hanukkah is the festival. Hanukkah is the festival of lights.
Adam Sandler.
And it's all this light and Christmas lights, and that's what it's all about. And of course, even though Jesus wasn't born on December 25th, that's the day we're going to celebrate it. I don't remember what year we actually decided that it was going to be that, but regardless,
I have no idea. Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's the holiday. So here we are, ho, ho, ho. And there's the big guy with the red suit who, his spirit might exist,
Jolly
But I know when I got older, I started having to buy gifts, and I'm saying, where is this big guy with the red suit?
Spoiler alert!
When I was a kid, I didn't have to worry about buying gifts. So, ho, ho, ho. He's got a list. Have you been good?
He's checking.
Or have you been
Naughty.
bad. Now, what is good and what is bad? And it really only depends on
I'm excited about this one.
Your perception of good and bad.
I'm excited about this.
And the beholder of good and bad. Let's break this down into normal human terms so everybody could understand what I'm saying.
Let's go.
Everybody has a goal. They could be short-term goals. They could be long-term goals. But every minute of every day, somebody has a goal in their head. My goal is to get up in the morning. I don't know about anybody else.
That's a good goal, by the way.
But if I can get out of bed, I got a successful goal.
That's a good one.
My goal is then maybe to take a shower.
That's another good one. Everybody appreciates it.
My goal is to eat breakfast. This is everybody's goals.
Yeah.
My goal, I got to drive to work. I got to do whatever. Yeah. So if you set a goal and you successfully go out to do things to make that goal happen, and you succeed at it, it's a good outcome. Does this make any sense at all?
Yeah. I mean, you set out a goal, you accomplish it. It's good.
It's good. Now, the whole thing again, if I set out that goal and I fail to make my goal, it's a bad outcome, not an evil outcome.
No. Good and bad and evil. Evil and bad are two very different things.
Yes. We're going there.
Yeah, very different things.
So my bad outcome, I didn't make my goal. It was a bad outcome. But then they do it again, and they make it. That's a good outcome. So that's okay. That's good and bad. Now, it really all depends on who's doing the good and the bad.
It's true. Very true.
Some good outcomes might be bad outcomes for other people.
I love it. Yeah.
Some bad outcomes might be good outcomes for other people.
Oh, my God. This is great.
It really all depends on how you look at it. But the main thing is, what did God decide was a good or a bad or evil outcome?
Well,
it's really all in God's eyes.
True.
The yahoos that, I hate to mention stupidity, 9/11, the yahoos that decided to do what they did to us.
Yes.
They had a goal. They set out to meet that goal.
I know where you're going.
And their goal was met.
Yep.
So to them, it's a good outcome because all that happened and it worked. Now to us, it was a very, very bad outcome.
Absolutely. 100%.
To God, now what is God thinking? That's an evil outcome. There's a difference.
Evil and immoral.
When you got morals involved. I mean, what stops us from just walking the streets and just sucker punching somebody?
Yeah.
That's just, we have morals. We know that that's not something we should do.
Exactly.
Although some people do it.
Exactly.
Because there's an evilness, not bad, evil. And that's where the evil comes in. Something is going on with their spirit that makes them do these horrendous things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unfortunately, you see it on the news all day, all over the world, all the time. I don't watch too much news. It just gets
I'm the same way.
Much.
Yep, I'm the same way.
But was the guy bad? No, he's evil. There's a difference between that good, bad, and evil.
There's an inherent.
So I just want to throw that out there. Get any take on it.
You're not talking for too long. If you have something to say, keep saying it. But
I had something to say.
But that whole good and evil, the whole good and bad thing, personally, something I've kind of built my life around over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It reigns so true, the examples you gave, especially the one unfortunately for 9/11, or it could be anything, Holocaust, it could be whatever. It depends on, as human beings, there's a difference. As humans, we have opinions of what's good and bad. Mike has an opinion. Like, we go to a restaurant, Mike, you order a plate of pasta, I order a plate of pasta. You go, it's good, I go, it's bad. Who's right? You're right, and we're both right. Because in my eyes, it's bad. In your eyes, it was good, right? For the same thing, for as far as good and bad goes. But when you start using the word evil and moral, it's different. That is more of a divine, right? We actually have Moses,
Mm-hmm.
we have the laws of Moses, right? Whatever they were. I forgot how 600, whatever the number was, laws that God gave Moses to give to
Yeah, 600 and change. Yeah.
those are the moral codes we are meant to live by as human beings. Moral.
Yeah.
They're not good, bad, opinionated. They're moral
Right.
codes. That's where the inherent difference is. As humans, good and bad, I put very little stock into those words because what you think is good, I think is bad. Like you said, an evil person who committed an evil act thinks that was good. It's good for us. Look what we did. We got them. We blah, blah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The people on the other
Mm-hmm.
side, oh my God, that's a horrible thing they did to us.
Yeah.
Who was right? Who was wrong? Morally, you know who's right, and you know who's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only if you look at it that way. But if you get stuck in just the human perspective of things, good and bad is very gray area. But once you put the word God into it, like you were saying, changes completely.
Yeah.
God, it's not good and bad. God is moral and moral. It's right and wrong. Like right and wrong is different than good and bad. What is right to do and what is wrong to do, right? How you treat somebody, how you don't treat somebody. You know, do you carry out that act of violence or do you not carry out that act? Those are the differences, but those are only determined by something greater than us. And
correct.
Instilled in us, and we have that ability to decipher that moral code if we choose to see it and listen to it by having a relationship with God.
100%.
Once you have that relationship, you transform, and you no longer, even if as a human being you have the thought of somebody really pushes your button, like that thought comes up, my God, I want to punch this person in the face. You see it and you immediately know that's not my thought.
Correct.
That's some demonic, satanic, evil force around me that's trying to make me do something that God would not want me to do in this moment.
Correct.
But
you have to judge your morals that way.
Exactly.
Would God want me to do this?
Exactly.
What is God's thought on this being good or bad?
Exactly.
Or evil? Because he's really good or evil. Bad. And nobody ever sits down and says, this pasta is evil. Although
that'd be a first.
although maybe I should have said that years ago. But yeah, nobody's saying that. So it's really, God is saying it's our morals to be good or evil.
Exactly.
Not bad. It's really just it's a taste, really, good or bad.
It is. It's an opinion.
What is your take on it? You like that movie? That was a bad movie. You like the movie? It was a good movie. God doesn't care.
No.
He cares about your morals being good, which is for him, or evil, which is for the other guy.
Exactly.
And that's how you have to think about everything that you do all the time.
I agree.
So, your goals, every goal that you make, is it good or is it evil? Think about that every time you got to make a choice. And that's crazy to think about, but it'll come like a snap of a finger as you go through your day. You're going to know if this is what God wanted you to do or really shunning.
And they won't be easy decisions either.
No. They're going to be bumps.
They're going to be difficult because they're going to be They're going to be certain choices you're going to have to make, which are very tempting for you to go the other way because they're going to be very self-righteous, very me, very, how this helps me in life.
Right.
As opposed to, well, God isn't always concerned what's going to help you. It's how I could use you to help somebody else. When we, in that mindset, well, some of the choices we're going to have to make in life are going to have to be not in our benefit, but for the benefit of others, which means there'll be a sacrifice there. And that's what God wants to see from us. I think that's what he truly, that's the test we have here. Are you just about your own, what you can accomplish, what you can do, what's good in your eyes? Or is it what's good in my eyes? What's moral and beneficial in my eyes? And if you have that relationship, like you got the NDMs, right? When you had your experience, those messages, you actually get that message in real time. Like, there's something inside of you that goes, no, this isn't what I meant to do. I meant to help this person. I need to do this. I know I'm sacrificing something for myself right here, but it just feels like there's something that gravitates you and pushes you that way and says, this is the right path. This is the moral path. This is the path you should be on. But you might be leaving something behind. You might be leaving something very tasty or beneficial in your human, practical, everyday life to the side. But you make that choice, well,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be the, I'm going to say good, right?
Yeah.
That would be the moral, beneficial choice to make. But that's
Right.
what God wants you to do. That's what's right in God's eyes, not what's right in our eyes. Because
Yeah.
I've said this 1,000 times, and even when I talk to people during the day, I'll say to the guy, I go, I don't trust myself. I only trust him. I don't trust me. I'm a human. I can't trust me. I was born a sinner. I'm not holier than thou. I'm a human being. I can't trust myself, but I do trust him. And if I trust him, he guides me on the path where I should be. But then I have the choice. Do I make the good, bad choice? Do I make the moral or the immoral choice? It's still always on us, right? That choice is still there, always on us. Yeah.
And it happens more so when you know God as
right.
He's the guy. He's my compass to judge what I have to do morally right, morally wrong.
True.
There's right and wrong now. I didn't even know I was going to go there, but it's the same. You have hope now. You have hope with God as your guy. And I don't want to say he's a guy.
No, I got you.
When God is your guy or your guide.
Your guide, yeah, even better.
Then you know that you're going to be doing, hopefully the right moral choices, or you'll know you did the wrong moral choice.
You'll know,
but we're still going to do wrong moral choices.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you know God or not. But at least there's hope now. I have this old saying. I haven't said it in a while. And with the hope thing, if you know God, you know hope.
Absolutely.
However,
yeah.
If you have no God, you have no hope. That's
a great t-shirt.
No God, no hope. Or no God, no hope.
That's a great t-shirt.
So it's just a play on words, but it means everything.
It means everything,
it's
sure.
4 words. No God, no hope. No God, no hope. Just spell it differently in both sentences.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your answer. And that's really how you got to do your judging throughout your day or now.
Or now.
Nighttime didn't happen yet.
I love that no God, no hope. Because
and then no God, no hope.
It's if you just say it, it sounds like you're saying the same thing twice, but obviously you break it down with the way with the spelling, and the words take on completely different
English
meaning.
language, right?
English language,
just,
right?
Spelled differently, it means
you know God,
but they both mean the same thing.
Yeah, if you know God, you know hope. If you don't know God, you don't have hope. But basically, if you break it down. Yeah, which is true, which is very, very true, right? If we leave it upon ourselves to guide ourselves through life, like you were saying, we're going to make mistakes, right? And imagine doing it without God in our lives. Imagine doing it without that lamp to show us the light, to be the light for us on that dark path, where we're just kind of trusting our own intuitions. Now, trusting your own intuition, you might accomplish a lot of things in life, but it's not about accomplishing. It's not about what you accomplish in life. It's not about the amount of things you accomplish in life. It's about the quality, right? Or the depth or the importance of the things you've accomplished for the betterment of the people around you, for the betterment of humanity, not just for the betterment of yourself, right? So accomplishing things, anybody could do that. You don't have to be a God person to go through life and accomplish things. You don't. Then we'll take an inventory of, let's see what you accomplished. And let's see what this person who's been following, not believing only, but following Christ, following God, a true follower, a Christian who knows that it's not an easy path to walk. And despite what they, some of the memes and things you see on social media, how they make it sound so great. And it is great. It's awesome. But it's a hard path to walk on. And it's meant to be a difficult path to walk on. That's the blueprint of it is this isn't supposed to be easy, because not everybody could just walk into the kingdom, or have this gift that we're being given just by living however you want to live, right?
Yeah, right.
You have to. Yeah, go ahead.
Good point. Because heaven or living with God is really what it's going to be.
True.
That's your ultimate hope. That's your hope of what happens when my body dies. I have that hope waiting for me elsewhere.
Absolutely.
And it's either going to be with God or without God. Now, I'm not saying the people that don't know God right now, and there are many more of them than there are people that do know God.
True.
The people that don't know God, I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm not saying they're good people. I'm not saying people that know God are bad or good people. Really, it all depends on how we look at it.
Absolutely.
But it's really based on the individual itself. What kind of hope does a person that does not know God have? What are they experiencing? Now, I was there. I didn't care less 10 years ago. I didn't care less if I had hope in God or not. I couldn't, it wasn't even a phase. So I was with that group of not having hope, but it wasn't like I didn't have hope. I didn't care if I had hope. So there was a difference.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't born with it. I didn't care about it, and I didn't care if I ever knew it or whatever. But then that pivot happened, and now I cannot believe how I didn't live without knowing God. It's almost unfathomable how my spirit is actually now finally connected. And I'm saying, I can't believe how I lived like this quietly, never saying anything to anybody, I didn't care. Now forget it. It's a completely different level. And to me, a good level.
Absolutely. Not to you, it is. It's a super beneficial level. Absolutely.
Now, there are evil people in the world. Now, ones that just will never know God, and they're evil. They're taken over by the evil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spell that out. We know that already. I'm going to give a little scenario.
Sure.
Let's make 3 rooms. 3 rooms filled with 100 people each.
Okay.
I wish I could get that many people together for myself to listen to Learning God Ministry.
Absolutely.
Anyway, let's fill 100 God knowers in one room. Let's put 100. They're not evil people, but they're just people.
Good atheists. Atheists who are they're decent people.
Yeah, in other words, we die.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens. Let's put them in one room. Let's put all the evil people, another 100, and I'm sure we could pick out 100.
Absolutely.
Throw them in room number 3. Now, there's a table in each one of these rooms. I don't want to use the word Smith and West. I don't know what to use.
Okay.
I'll say pew-pew.
Okay.
All right? I think everybody knows what a pew-pew is. So let's put one pew-pew on a table in each of those rooms. So let's go over to the knowers of God, true knowers of God. Not people that say they know God, because they're not true knowers of God.
Exactly.
If they're not doing the God thing.
Exactly.
If you leave the pew-pew on the table 24 hours, I don't know what they're doing in the room for 24 hours without any food or water, but there they are. We put them in there as a science experiment. At the end of the 24 hours, the chances are very, very high that pew-pew is going to be in the exact same position on that table that would have been when the experiment started. So let's go out of the middle room where we got a mix. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen. In other words, we're walking on eggshells. Is somebody here going to
50-50
pick up the pew-pew?
Yeah, 50-50 chance.
Yeah, we don't know. It's like a 50-50. Maybe some people are good. We don't know. Let's go to room number 3.
Oof.
Uh-oh. Ooh. Ooh.
I don't think it hits the
room
table.
Number 3 is filled with these.
It might not even hit the table.
Whatever. The evils.
Yeah.
At the end of 24 hours, how many people? Well, we can't say it only had 6 ammo, but maybe it did. Do you think there would be all survivors in that room?
In the evil room? No.
In the evil room. No. I believe there would not be.
No. The Satan would get into their heads and give them, and they would easily listen and follow.
Right. And even if they weren't planning on pew-pewing, they'd want a pew-pew just before they got pew-pewed.
Exactly.
So they're still going to do it.
Pew-pewed. So
if I'm in the room with the God knowers, I feel pretty safe.
Yeah.
Knowing, look, we all love God, and I'm not worried at all. I have no worries whatsoever. And that's really kind of what church kind of is when the people get together. It's not the steeple, it's the people. So when the people get together and they're in a
It's not the
church,
steeple, it's the people.
they get together and they're in the church, and everybody's gaggling around, talking God. Look, I had a couple of run-ins with people at churches. I even had a couple of run-ins with pastors who just disagree with what I'm saying. And that's okay, whether it's good or bad. I thought what I said was good. They thought what I said was bad. But was it really bad? You know, I'm only saying things from what I was told or known or shown. And I understand where the pastors are coming from, but regardless, it doesn't always mean that because you're in church now, you're going to be around a whole bunch of great, great, good people. There's a pocket once in a while, and it happens. There's one
Humans are
lady,
everywhere.
that your goal is to go to church and to learn something, get a message out of it, and then leave with that message where you could put that message into everyday life.
Yeah. The whole church thing is more community than anything else. I mean, which is phenomenal. So I don't understand why pastor have an issue with.
Yeah, well,
I mean, your message isn't exactly non-religious, so I don't.
Well, that's I don't know if that was the key. Maybe because it had to be more religious. I'm not sure.
Whatever.
But
yeah, maybe.
What's funny?
Who knows?
I spoke to this one lady in between sessions here, and she said she went to a church and the pastor was half Filipino. And again, nothing wrong with that.
Of course not.
But he speaks in such a heavy Filipino accent.
Yeah, you get that a lot. Yeah.
That she didn't get the message. And she's had this before.
She has a hard time understanding them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so did everybody else in the pews.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to. When
you said pew before, I was like, well, there's a different kind of pew also where you kneel in the pew.
So the goal was to get to church to get to a message, or was the goal just to get to a church to spend your 45 minutes or your hour, sometimes hour and a half at these places, and then leave with absolutely no knowledge of what you just did?
I mean,
you're just there to.
I mean, I think that's dependent on the person who goes and why they're going there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. So I grew up Roman Catholic, right?
I certainly do.
Yeah, right. Choir, church. I mean, I get thrown out of the choir because I can't sing, and I don't blame them because I cannot sing. But altar boy, lector, I did it good. Huh?
You thought you were good.
I thought I was good. Yeah, right. In my head, it sounded great. And he was like, shh, John. Shh. I was like, all right, I'm leaving.
His singing is evil.
So I did all that as a kid, right? And I kind of strayed away. I never really strayed away from God, but I strayed away from the church for a while, right? Because I didn't see for me at that point, I didn't see a utility in everything that was there. I just had a relationship with God. Then I went through what I went through, became a mindful person. I started to gravitate back towards God. So the funny part of the story is a good friend of mine said, let's go to Bible study, right? And I was like, you know what? I had just started reading the Bible. I was like, that'd be great. So went to Bible study and we're doing the Gospel of Luke. I enjoyed it thoroughly, had a great time there, learned a lot. Awesome people. It was at a local parish by my house. One of the last sessions, and I'll backtrack a second. Before the last couple of weeks had happened, I had been looking for my group, right? Because I was a very spiritual person, and now my spiritual life led me back into, like, I was hot for God again. Like, I was like all into this, and I found him again and reconnected, and here come the synchronicities again, and I'm seeing everything happening in my life, and I'm seeing how I'm connecting with certain people. But I'm like, God, I still need to find my group. Like, I still felt like I was a sheep kind of wandering from flock to flock and being like, where do I belong? One of these older gentlemen in one of the tables that we sit in, and we had like 7, 8 tables. Very nice man named Richard. I had sat with him a couple times. It was the second to last week, grabs me and my friend's arms right next to us, my buddy Anthony, who had brought me to the Bible study, who wanted me to go with him, and said, we have a men's group, a men's breakfast. And mind you, all these men are like 75. They're all older gentlemen. He's like, we would love for you guys to come. I immediately said yes, because I'm like, I just prayed, let me find my flock. So I go to the breakfast. I walk into breakfast. This is where synchronicities really start happening. Who do I see at the breakfast? My son's best friend from high school, his college, and became his college roommate, his dad, who I know very well. I'm like, what are you doing here? We start talking. That turns into going to a summit for a weekend for to form a men's group at a local parish. That turns into me going to mass on Sunday with these guys. That turns into me going to mass every Sunday. That turns to me going to mass on Thursdays even now. Not because I ran back to a building or a church. I ran to a community. I asked God to show me and to help me find my flock. If you would have asked me, Mike, the last place I thought I was going to ever end up again would have been in a Roman Catholic church, and nothing against it, because I just kind of walked away from that whole box religion thing. And I was like, and I realized God was like, yeah, you want to follow me, but you don't want to be part of a community. You want a community? Here it is. And it's not going to be the one that you thought you were going to get. He goes, are you going to accept it or are you not? Mike, I went head first. Okay, no problem. I'm back. But I'm back because that's why I said this ties into, it's a community. So that person who unfortunately didn't get anything out of it, it could be hard with some priests if they have accents. I get that, right? Like, listen, I could speak with a heavy Brooklyn accent and people could be like, sometimes, dude, you're swallowing your words, like speak slower. What do you say? But it's the community is the important part. It means it's the people in there. Then if you want to get involved in all the rituals, that's beautiful. Do them. If they have a purpose for you, do them. They're not necessary to get to heaven, but they can be beautiful to go through. So if you enjoy them, that's great. But that community for me is what it's all about. Like I ask for a community, and this is where I laugh at God sometimes, not at him, but I laugh with him. Where he's like, you want a community? No problem, John. Here's your community. I'm like, but that's the community I left. He goes, well, that's the one I'm going to send you back to. Do you want to go? You don't have to. I could have said no to breakfast. I could have said no to the summit. I could have said no to going to church. I said yes to all those things because I was gravitationally being pulled to go back there. Right. Yeah. So that's where it's kind of funny, right? Where you're like,
that story tied up with everything that we just talked about. You had a goal and you set out to meet that goal and it was a good outcome, but you did it with God.
Yeah.
So God could bring you to that place.
Look at this.
In time at that moment.
Look at this.
All those three things that we just talked about just came out in that entire story.
Wow.
And that's what happens when you do it with God.
Amen.
I hate to say that, the phrase, but
man, amen.
It sums up everything. Yeah, amen is right, because that's how we have to we should live our lives.
Yeah.
Have to? No, you do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
I don't care.
It's a choice.
I'm not getting brownie points. I don't care, really.
Yeah.
It does, all I know is that my contract says I have to do this now. And if you don't listen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing my best.
My contract, I love it.
Well, I do. He's my boss now. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at it any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a boss at work, but
no, he is our boss. Of course he is.
I don't really listen to him as much as I do to
the boss upstairs. Yeah.
The real boss, who's his boss.
No, but what you just said, and this is where I could tell people, like, you would think me and Mike talk more often. Like, he's got a busy life. I have stuff to do. So we only talk maybe a couple times in between episodes, maybe.
Yeah.
We didn't speak about any of this.
No, we don't rehearse this at all.
And here comes that story at the end, which ties in. That was beautiful how you pointed all those things out, by the way, how you tied that all together.
Well, this is God leading us right here at this time to talk about it.
Yeah, it is. It's
and
God's
it really
timing.
is. Yeah. Because I'm sitting here constantly getting fed by him.
Absolutely.
Like what? All right. And your spirit is doing the same thing.
Sure.
Remember I talked about that God filter last time?
We have that direct line that will feed us.
Yeah. And I know it gets filtered and then he tells me what to say. I mean, it almost feels like I'm not a puppet. I absolutely have my own ways to do things and my own.
Is an influence.
Free will. Whatever.
That godly influence. Absolutely.
But yeah, there's a definite thought process that goes on in my head, at least in my spirit. And I know yours as well.
Yeah.
That leads you to say the things that you say, to teach others, not preach, teach. Because I don't like preachers. I like people to teach. I want to teach people.
Don't talk down to me. Talk to me. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And that's what people like about this. The whole us having cannolis and demi-tasse and having sitting in a cafeteria, diner, or Italian place, whatever. This is exactly what it's about, and I hope more people could even gravitate to this. Share these podcasts, man. This is what knowing God gets better and better. You don't just work out one day. You have to work out. Just give yourselves, and every day give yourself that hope. Here's the new homework to do.
Here we go.
Get up every morning, every goal that you have, set out to make that goal and ask God, what can I do to make this goal? Show me what I have to do to get, because he's not going to just give you the goal. You got to go for the goal and you got to do it, but you're going to do it easier and better, knowing that God took the reins on your thought and your spirit to get and make that goal and make it a good one. They're not always going to be good outcomes.
I was about to say that. Yeah, you took the
but
words
you're
out
going to
of my mouth.
learn, and you're going to learn how to do it the right way. If you're going to do it a second time or a third time, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or you give up on that one and decide on another one.
Yeah, well, that'll be God, right? That'll be God coming in and saying,
yes,
that's a goal you have. Well, it's not going to end up how you have it in your head, but it's going to end up how I have it in mine. And that's what's going to come. Now, the big thing is do you accept and surrender when that happens, or do you fight it, right? So the godly person, the person who does things with God, like in my case with the whole, I got led back to the church and this group in the community, and this beautiful church and beautiful people there who I'm falling in love with the more and more I get to know them. Like I had to choose to accept and surrender and go against my bias that I had, right? This bias that I might have had built in my head, and said, no, this is where he wants me to be. I accept this is where he wants me to be. Not, well, this isn't what I want, so I'm not going to do it. Because if that's the attitude, well, now, yes, you could give away a gift of God. God could give you a gift and you could turn it down. He's not going to force it on you, but that's not how you nurture that relationship, right? If you go your way, or you go your way with him. So you could go your way alone, or you could go your way with him. But his way with you is going to be a different path.
Yeah.
I choose
him.
It's
something you might not like.
No, I choose him. I choose him 110 times out of 100. Like
you have to. You have to.
Even if I don't like what's happening.
Know him, don't choose him because they don't know him.
Yeah.
They don't believe. Again, believing and knowing, two different things.
Exactly.
Yeah. All I know is this. God has a list, and he's checking it twice. Ho.
Which one are you on?
And he doesn't care about the good and the bad list. That's Santa's list.
Yeah, Santa's list.
That's good and bad. He cares about good, and he cares about evil.
Moral and immoral list, yeah.
Yes, it's moral and immoral. That's
follower
exactly
and not follower, yeah.
So now ask yourself, did I do something immoral today? Or did I do something moral today? Keep those morals and immorals in check. Know that you're doing either one. Because if you're doing the immoral, then you realize, I just did something immoral.
Yeah.
And God wasn't going to be happy with what I just did. I did something moral. Okay. He's going to be happy. So try to keep that boundary and try to understand.
I think God's list is know God, KNOW, God. And then the other list is no God, NO
no
God. So no God or no God. Those are the lists. No God? Okay, you're good. No God? Well, you're on your own.
Right. And those are your choices. You worry about what's going on later on.
Exactly.
Some people aren't because they don't believe that there's an after something, an after death. I don't want to say the words trust me, but there is an after death. 1,000 billion%. I can't say it enough.
The human mind can't conceive it, but the spirit inside you knows it.
That's what it is. We can't conceive it.
No, we're not meant to.
We don't understand it.
No, we're not meant to. Yeah.
And again, I'm all for it. So make your list. He's checking it twice. Not your list. Well, you should make a list too. What did I do today that was moral? What did I do today was immoral?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did I know God or did I know God?
I love it. That's true.
I love it too. That's great. That's awesome. This was a very, very good show.
Yeah, man. It was great. Always a great show. Great content.
And I hope people could get something out of it that, if they listen in, and they listen to the end, and they get something out of this thing, because it's your best spiritual exercise. I know you go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. What are we asking for? 45 minutes a month? If you can't do that, then how else are you going to know God? You do 45 minutes a week in church.
You should be able to do 45 minutes sleeping. You should be able to do 45 minutes a day. Just talk to God during the day if you're walking around.
And you should. You should.
Like, be that crazy person.
To the people.
It's like be that crazy person walking down the street that they see talking to themselves. Have a conversation with God when you're walking. Have a conversation with God when you're driving.
Right.
Whenever, just have that conversation. Talk to him. Ask him for guidance. Ask him for insights. Yeah. Ask him to work through you, right? And you'll be amazed, right? You'll be amazed. I can't fathom life. I mean, I can't fathom the idea of going it alone. Like, why would I want to do this alone when I have
now I can't, but yes,
no,
you're right.
Yeah. At one point I was so confident in me. I didn't think I needed him until he broke me one day and said, okay, do it on your own. And I was like, I can't. Okay. Well, all right. That's fine then. I love you and welcome back. And it's really that simple. So, I know. Yeah. Good stuff, man.
All I could say is this: a Merry Christmas and all happy holidays to whatever religion you're doing. It's fine. But to all human beings on the planet, have a great holiday season, a great new year coming up. And I guess whatever you do
it with God.
See? What a great moral choice that was. That's all I got to say. I'm hanging up my session.
Me too. And I guess we could tell people, see you next year.
We'll see you next year in 2026.
Awesome.
My goodness. Hold on. It's going fast.
There we go. All right. Good stuff.
All
man.
right.
All right, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Take care. Peace out. Love and say prayers. Later. Thanks for listening to today's show. We hope you get as much out of this as we do. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share to help us spread God's love. Don't forget, whatever you do, do it with God.